If you're 5 years from retirement, this retirement planning guide covering retirement income planning, retirement withdrawal strategy, and retirement advice is the most important video you'll watch. Because the decisions you make in the next 5 years decide exactly how safe, flexible, and enjoyable your retirement lifestyle truly feels. Whether you're focused on retirement planning at 60, exploring early retirement, or building a smarter path to retirement living, this year-by-year blueprint will give you the clarity you need. These are the retirement tips and retirement stories that separate those who hope it works from those who know it works. This is Housing Watch. Welcome back. Today, I'm going to walk you through a year-by-year blueprint, exactly what to focus on, what to ignore, and how to move from "I hope this works" to "I know this works." This is how retirement actually comes together when it's done well. Supporting us is simple. Hit that subscribe and like button. Your support really does mean the world, and it keeps us motivated to bring the very best content to your screen. 5 years ahead is when retirement shifts from being a distant one-day concept and turns into a real project. Up to this point, most people have kept their heads down and simply been saving and investing. Now, we're moving into a phase of planning and positioning. We want to get clarity. There are 4 things that must happen. Number 1, lock in a real retirement target, not a vague range. This is the year you stop saying, "I might retire around 62, maybe 65. Instead, you say, "I'm going to retire in June of 2031. Why does that matter? Because every decision after that depends on how many more years you're saving, when income streams begin, and how long your portfolio needs to bridge the gap. A 3-year swing in retirement timing can easily be the difference in hundreds of thousands of dollars in required savings or withdrawals. So, this is when you choose a real target date and then stress test it. Number 2, build an actual retirement budget. This is where many people go wrong. They choose a target portfolio number before they even understand their lifestyle. So in year 5, you want to build your retirement budget and break it down. Identify your core needs: housing, food, insurance, utilities, healthcare. Then your lifestyle wants: travel, hobbies, dining, experiences. Then those irregular expenses, maybe cars, home repairs, helping kids, medical surprises. And here's the nuance. Some expenses go down in retirement. Others might go up. Maybe that's healthcare. Maybe that's lifestyle early in retirement. The goal isn't to have a perfectly exact number, but to have a general target. The goal is to understand what it really costs to live your life. Because once you know what your life costs, you can finally answer how much income your retirement actually requires. Number 3, check your savings runway for the final 5 years. Compare where you are today with where you need to be in the future. Ask yourself, am I on track if I keep doing what I'm doing? Or do I need to accelerate my savings a bit? Do I need to take advantage of catch-up contributions? Or can I ease up a little? Am I just building a buffer at this point? This is powerful because it reframes retirement from fear into control. The more details we have and the more we know to be true, the better position we put ourselves in. Some people realize they don't need to push themselves hard with savings anymore. Others realize they need to make adjustments if they expect to reach that target retirement. Looking at this with 5 years remaining still gives you time to adjust. Number 4, align your investment risk and understand tolerance versus capacity. This is one of the most important discussions of year 5. There is a difference between risk tolerance, how much volatility you emotionally feel comfortable with, and risk capacity, how much risk your plan can actually handle. You might feel fine being aggressive, but if a major market swing would force you to delay your retirement or reduce your spending, your risk capacity is lower than your tolerance. In year 5, you want to shift from chasing the highest returns to focusing on what gives you the highest probability of success. This means not being overly aggressive. It's not that you have to be extremely conservative, but you want to make sure that you can secure success. Year 5 is also about addressing the risks people ignore for decades. Review any insurance gaps you may have. At a minimum, you want to evaluate your liability coverage, your umbrella coverage, and health coverage if you're retiring before Medicare age 65. Because one unexpected event can undo decades of savings. It's not exciting, but it truly is essential. When you're this close to executing your plan, you want to move into a defensive position, so you're protecting everything you built. Next, estate documents and beneficiaries. You might be surprised to realize how many people have outdated wills or no will at all, have no power of attorney or health care directives, or even have ex-spouses listed as beneficiaries on their accounts. Make year 5 the year you update this and ensure everything is exactly how you want it. Then, you need to have a debt strategy. This is where you intentionally decide what debt should be eliminated before retirement, and what might make sense to keep, because every dollar of required debt payment that you carry into retirement is a dollar of required income you must generate in retirement. Sometimes fully paying off your debt is the best return you can get. Sometimes it isn't. What you need to do is sit down and carefully make this decision based on your situation. If retirement were a house you're building, year 5 is the foundation and the framing. You are not choosing paint colors yet. You are ensuring the structure is solid, the numbers make sense, and the risk is controlled. And if you handle year 5 well, if you make these decisions wisely, every other decision that follows becomes easier. 4 years out is when retirement planning subtly shifts direction. For the past 30 or 40 years, the focus has mostly been on accumulation. Save, invest, grow, repeat. Now, the question becomes, how will I use this portfolio to fund the life I want? And how much of it will I actually retain after taxes? This is the year you move from thinking about balances to thinking about income, taxes, and timing. And to be honest, this is often one of the most overlooked parts of the planning puzzle. Number 1, start mapping out your future income sources. In year 4, you should be able to list every future stream of income and when it will begin. Social Security, and at what age, a pension if applicable, part-time work, or consulting if planned, and portfolio withdrawals. This really builds the framework of your retirement paycheck. You're no longer just looking at a lump sum of money. You're creating a timeline, identifying all income streams, and noting any gaps you'll need to fill. Number 2, decide your withdrawal order before retirement. I won't lie and say you can't figure this out after you retire, but it's easier to develop a strategy before you're in the thick of it. Most people want a tax strategy to minimize lifetime taxes. When it comes to pulling from accounts, most retirees look at it like this. Generally, taxable brokerage accounts first, then traditional IRAs and 401ks, and Roth IRAs last. The order of withdrawals can easily mean tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars in lifetime tax differences. In year 4, start modeling using taxable money first to let tax-deferred accounts grow. Blend withdrawals across buckets to stay in lower tax brackets, and preserve Roths for later years or for legacy. There isn't one best order for everyone, but there usually is a better approach than a random strategy. Number 3, shift from thinking in balances to thinking in tax brackets. Let's say you have a $1.5 million investment portfolio. Instead of seeing it as one massive sum, ask how you can control your income from it. How much can I spend each year without jumping into higher tax brackets? The beauty of retirement is that you often have flexibility with income. During your working years, as a W-2 or 1099 employee, most income is taxed as ordinary income. That's generally not the case in retirement, and you can take advantage of it. In year 4, begin projecting future taxable income in retirement, how RMDs will layer in later, how Social Security interacts with taxes, and where Medicare surcharges may begin. This is often when diligent savers realize, I'm not going to stay in low tax brackets forever. Many retirees find themselves in higher tax brackets than expected because of growing balances in traditional accounts and future RMDs starting at 73 or 75, or from Social Security taxation or Medicare surcharges they didn't foresee. Number 4, run a full lifetime tax map, not just today's snapshot. This is where the nuance comes in. We're not only looking at account balances today, we also want to understand what those accounts could grow to in the future. Specifically, we focus on traditional retirement accounts and sometimes taxable accounts as well. We want to project what they might become in 15, 20, or even 25 years. This helps identify future tax risks and positions you more strategically today. Number 5. Evaluate Roth conversions strategically, if appropriate. Many soon-to-be retirees spent most of their careers funneling money into traditional accounts, often because those were what workplaces offered. Roth accounts were either unavailable or an afterthought. Now is a good time to assess whether shifting more money into Roths makes sense. Some retirees experience lower income years early in retirement, before Social Security and RMDs begin, and higher income years later once everything stacks together. This early window can be ideal for partial Roth conversions. The goal is to pay taxes at a controlled rate, rather than being forced to pay them later at a higher rate. Roth conversions suit some people well, but aren't perfect for everyone, and year 4 is ideal for modeling them. Number 6. If retiring before Medicare, healthcare planning becomes critical. Before age 65, taxes and healthcare are closely connected. You need to understand how the ACA marketplace works, where income cliffs exist, and whether Roth conversions could affect premiums. If not using an ACA plan, where will you get insurance? Is it reliable? And what will it cost? One extra dollar of income can sometimes reduce subsidies by thousands. These are the tax landmines and cliffs retirees often overlook. If year 5 was about building the foundation, year 4 is about designing the flow of money through the house. You're creating an income timeline, a tax strategy, and building a portfolio that supports the entire picture. Ultimately, you want a system that produces income reliably and efficiently. 3 years out, the focus shifts to Social Security optimization and sequence of returns risk defense. 3 years out, you want to stop guessing about Social Security. Up until now, many people focus on just one question: when should I claim? But Social Security is about much more than timing. It involves lifetime income, survivor protection, longevity risk, and how it integrates into your household cash flow. Number 1. Model survivor scenarios, not just while both spouses are alive. One of the biggest mistakes many couples make is only looking at Social Security income while both are living. The real stress comes when one spouse passes away and the household loses a Social Security benefit. In year 3, you should model what household income looks like when both are alive, what happens when one benefit drops off, and what expenses realistically look like for the surviving spouse. Some costs go down, but many don't. Housing, utilities, insurance, and other fixed expenses remain. This is why a claiming strategy that maximizes survivor benefits is often more important than squeezing out a few extra dollars early in retirement. Number 2, run longevity scenarios, not just averages. Most retirement calculators assume an average lifespan, about 78 in the US, but this isn't accurate for a 65-year-old. At 65, the average life expectancy for a man is another 18 years, or 83, and for a woman, another 21 years, or 86. A 65-year-old woman has nearly a 50% chance of living into her 90s, while a man has about a 30% chance. In year 3, you want to model normal life expectancy, long life expectancy, and what income will look like if you reach that long life scenario. This is often where delaying benefits shows its true value, providing an inflation-protected income that lasts as long as you do. Longevity risk is real, and Social Security is one of the best hedges against it. Number 3, optimize as a household, not as individuals. When making Social Security decisions, one of the best questions for couples is, how can we maximize household income and protect the surviving spouse? This often means one spouse claims earlier while the higher earner delays. It could involve coordinating benefits to smooth income and prioritizing the larger benefit for survivor protection. The best strategy rarely has both individuals claiming at the same time. At the same time as you optimize your income strategy, actively protect your portfolio. By now, you should already have started mitigating sequence of returns risk by moving into a more defensive allocation. Year 3 is when this really matters. Confirm that your investment allocation aligns with your new life phase and that your cash and income buckets are properly funded. This ensures a poor market early in retirement won't derail your plan or force bad decisions. Sequence of returns risk isn't about long-term returns. It's about market downturns early in retirement. A major early decline, combined with withdrawals to fund your lifestyle, can permanently lock in losses, damage your portfolio, and increase the risk of running out of money or making uncomfortable cuts. Now is the time to protect against that. Number 4, build a cash or bond buffer and understand the gap. This is where nuance really matters. I recommend having about 3 years of your spending gap in cash-like funds ready to go. But the key is understanding the word gap. For example, if your household spends $5,000 per month, that's $60,000 per year. If Social Security covers $3,500 per month, your portfolio only needs to cover $1,500 per month, or $18,000 per year. 3 years of that gap is $54,000, not $180,000. These are dramatically different numbers. Understanding your income stack and exactly where income comes from matters immensely. Ideally, this cash bucket sits in a high-yield savings account, money market fund, or other easily accessible accounts. The purpose is simple. When markets fall, you spend from this buffer instead of selling investments at depressed prices. Number 5, design a paycheck or bucket structure. This is the year to plan how your income will arrive in retirement. Rather than taking random withdrawals, you want it to feel like a paycheck. You want to replicate the paycheck experience from your working years. For example, you might set up a monthly transfer from an investment account so a structured paycheck hits your bank account. Then maintain separate buckets for near-term spending and long-term growth. This matters because behavior matters. Predictable income makes people feel more comfortable with the plan, more confident during market swings, and more secure in their ability to spend according to plan. Your retirement plan should feel emotionally safe. Number 6, decide how flexible your spending really is. This ties back to the retirement budget you built in year 5. Categorize your spending into core essentials: housing, food, healthcare, utilities, and flexible lifestyle items, travel, dining, hobbies, and extras. Separating spending like this helps answer a critical question. If markets struggle early, What can I temporarily reduce and what is non-negotiable? A flexible spending strategy ensures you never have to cut essentials, only discretionary items. The more flexibility you build in, the more resilient your plan becomes without needing an enormous portfolio. Year 3 addresses this question. What happens if the market is unkind right at retirement? One of my favorite points: you spent 30 or 40 years saving for retirement. You don't want a single bad market year to determine if you can retire on time. This is why we build a safety net, establish guardrails, and create a resilient plan so you stay on course. 2 years out is when retirement finally feels real. Up until now, you've been building systems, strategies, and running projections. Now is the time to turn all of that into a monthly income. This is the year you stop thinking of your portfolio as a whole and start breaking it down into the monthly income you'll rely on for the rest of your life. Number 1. Draft the first 24 months of retirement cash flow. This is where you map out month by month how retirement will actually work. You should be able to see your total monthly spending, your guaranteed income, and the gap your portfolio needs to fill. Not just for 1 month, but for 2 full years. Why 2 years? Because it forces you to account for seasonal or one-off expenses, like healthcare premiums, travel, or big purchases. It makes retirement tangible and exposes any weak spots so you have time to adjust. Number 2. Decide exactly which accounts fund which dollars. This is where your tax and portfolio strategies converge. Rather than saying, "I'll just pull from my investments," you know exactly which withdrawals come from traditional accounts, taxable accounts, and Roth accounts, if any. This allows you to control your tax bracket, minimize lifetime taxes, and protect future income streams. This is the difference between random withdrawals and a coordinated plan. Number 3. Build your retirement income in layers. Think of retirement income as a stack, not a single source. At the bottom is your income floor, Social Security or a pension, your guaranteed base that shows up no matter what the markets do. On top of that, consider part-time work or consulting if planned for early retirement. Next, withdrawals from your investment portfolio. And finally, the top layer is flexibility, the ability to temporarily reduce discretionary spending if needed. Viewing income this way makes retirement feel less risky. Multiple sources support your entire retirement, rather than relying on one. Number 4. Decide where employer plans will live. Make intentional rollover decisions that fit your plan. Review old 401ks and employer plans to determine whether to roll into an IRA, keep funds in the plan for certain benefits, and coordinate or consolidate accounts. I don't recommend moving money just for the sake of it, but simplicity matters. Streamlining accounts makes life easier to manage, reduces moving parts, and keeps fees low, so more money works for you. Number 5. Set up tax withholding so there are no surprises. One of the biggest shocks for new retirees is taxes. You're no longer an employee, so taxes aren't automatically withheld from your income sources. So in year 2, you want to decide where taxes will be withheld. From Social Security, IRA withdrawals, maybe a pension, and whether quarterly estimated payments make sense. The goal is to avoid big surprises in April. The whole idea is to make retirement and your retirement income feel smooth and stress-free. This is the year retirement stops being theoretical. You're no longer looking at charts and projections. You're designing a real paycheck that will last for the rest of your life. By now, you should be able to confidently say, "This is how month 1 works, and this is how the next 12 months work." When your retirement strategy is this clear, it feels manageable. When everything is vague, it feels scarier. Using our house analogy, Now is when you can start picking out paint colors. 1 year out, your goal is confidence. By this point, the major strategy decisions should already be made. Now you focus on how retirement actually works in real life, doing a practice run, financially speaking, of retirement. Number 1. Simulate your retirement income without unnecessarily tapping your portfolio. Before leaving your job, test run what your retirement budget really looks like. I'm not suggesting you withdraw from your investments early. Instead, create a monthly retirement paycheck in your checking account, living on the income level you expect in retirement, funded using your current salary. Some people move money into a separate account to mimic retirement spending, while others simply cap their spending at predicted retirement levels. The goal is to experience what that income feels like in real life. See if the budget is realistic, and identify where adjustments are needed. This does two powerful things. It confirms that your plan works in practice, not just on paper. And it builds emotional comfort living on your retirement income, including portfolio draws. If something feels off or too tight, you discover it now, before executing your plan. Number 2, finalize automatic transfers and systems. This is where everything becomes operational. Set up regular withdrawals from investment accounts, transfers into your checking account, and emergency cash flow buffers. The goal is for retirement income to feel predictable, smooth, and stress-free, just like your paycheck during your working years. Number 3, lock in Social Security decisions and have a backup plan. By now, your primary claiming strategy should be set. 1 year out, you also want to confirm what happens if markets fall early, if a spouse's health changes, or if income needs shift. This is how you prepare, not second-guessing, but building flexibility. A strong plan always has room to adjust while keeping you on track. Number 4, execute healthcare and benefit transitions carefully. If Medicare is part of your retirement strategy, enrollment timing is critical. Missing windows can lead to penalties, gaps in coverage, and higher premiums. If you retire before Medicare eligibility, ensure you have coverage lined up, know the cost, and understand how you'll pay for it. Paperwork and timing matter here. Be informed and deliberate in your decisions. Number 5, finalize all separation and rollover paperwork. This includes 401ks or pension elections, stock compensation payouts if applicable, PTO or severance payments, and rollover execution. Everything should align with the plan you've already built. You're not adding new steps. This year is about turning strategy into reality. No more modeling or hypotheticals, just systems. You enter retirement knowing exactly how it works. The first year of retirement is often the loudest emotionally, but not usually the most dangerous financially. Markets will move, spending may feel different, and headlines may seem louder. This is normal. Many people increase monitoring during this period. Focus on actual spending versus your plan, actual taxes versus projections, and portfolio behavior versus your emotions. Some expenses may be higher than planned, others lower. The key is adjusting. Small tweaks are normal. Big emotional reactions are not helpful. A good retirement plan doesn't eliminate uncertainty. Markets will always move, and life will always be unpredictable. But a good plan gives you guardrails. Success comes from intentional big decisions, understood risks, and money working to support the life you want. If you're 5 years out from retirement, this is your window. Use it wisely. How far out are you from retirement? 5 years, less, or more? Leave your thoughts in a comment. I post new videos every week. If you got value from this one, please like it. If you're new, consider subscribing. And if you know someone who might benefit, please share. See you soon. Bye.